Traders swear by volume profiles. But what if you could build one without volume at all?
What in tarnation?
Instead of plotting where trades happened, imagine mapping why they did. Picture this: every pivot point stacked into a clean, color-coded profile right on your chart. That's pivot point profile. It turns structure into a story. In this video, we'll show you how to set it up in seconds, how to read it instantly, and 2 simple ways to trade it like a pro, whether you're scalping reversals or riding trends. Let's get started. Traditional profiles are fantastic for context, but they require session ranges or fixed windows, and the read can get fuzzy when data is incomplete. Price structure, on the other hand, is universal. Every market, every time frame leaves pivots, swing highs and lows that reveal where participants repeatedly defended or attacked price. When many pivots cluster at the same level, that price becomes a concentrated area of interest. Pivot Point Profile automatically detects those pivots, bins them into rows, and shows you a left-right histogram of pivot high counts versus pivot low counts. Red leans toward resistance pressure, blue towards support pressure. The result is a fast, objective heat map of actionable levels without drawing a single line by hand. When you apply the indicator to your chart, a horizontal profile will appear alongside price. Each row corresponds to a price slice. Red bars represent how many pivot highs occurred at that level, blue bars show pivot lows, and small numeric labels display the exact counts. You'll also notice subtle circles plotted directly on the candles. Those mark the individual pivots detected, allowing you to visually connect each histogram row back to price action. Inside the indicator settings, begin with the pivot type. SMC structure identifies swings using highest/lowest logic, ideal for structural confirmations, while fractal pivots uses the traditional pivot high/low approach. The length parameter controls sensitivity. Lower values capture minor swings and early turns, while higher values filter noise and focus on more decisive moves. Under profile calculation, the look-back setting defines how many recent pivots are factored into the histogram. For a full picture, toggle on Use Full Chart History to include all available data. Row size determines the granularity of the profile. Smaller values increase detail and resolution. Larger values simplify the profile and emphasize broader levels. In the Profile Display section, you can adjust profile width and profile offset to fit your layout preferences, and choose where the histogram renders, right, left, or center relative to price. Enabling Highlight CAs turns on shading for concentrated areas, the most active price levels. Leave CA threshold off to auto-highlight the strongest support and resistance zones, or set your own minimum count to manually define what qualifies as significant. For even more precision, you can enable low CA averages and high CA averages. These plot slim horizontal blue and red lines at the mean price of the clustered pivots, giving you ultra-clean levels perfect for alerts, entries, or stops. Finally, under Style, you can tweak the color of support and resistance bars, toggle Show Row Values to display count labels, and enable Show Pivots to keep the swing point dots visible on the chart. Quick tip: if the profile feels too thick, try reducing row size or narrowing the look back. If it looks too thin, do the opposite. The sweet spot is a clean profile that highlights the 1 or 2 key zones most likely to act as your next reaction points. Using this indicator is similar to how you'd approach a traditional volume profile, but with one key advantage. Instead of relying on actual volume, it infers activity from price action swing points. That makes it especially useful for decentralized markets, where volume data may be unreliable or unavailable. Let's walk through an example using the US 30 on the 1-hour time frame. Our goal here is to identify the most impactful levels. So the first thing we'll do is reduce the row size to 25 in the settings. This filters out noise and highlights only the most significant zones. Next, we'll add a secondary condition to help time our entry. For this, we're using the LuxAlgo Signals and Overlays Smart Trail feature. This tool is excellent for identifying reaction zones that complement the pivot levels. We'll increase its sensitivity to 4, which helps isolate higher probability zones. Now, look at the current setup. Price is trading above both major pivot zones. But take a closer look. The higher of the two zones has 12 bearish pivots clustered around it, compared to just 5 bullish pivots below. That imbalance suggests the upper zone may not offer a strong buying opportunity. Instead, we'll look for a scenario where price breaks through that pivot zone, just like it did here, then pulls back into the smart trail. Notice how we've already seen 2 sharp reactions from that smart trail area. That makes it a strong candidate for a sell entry. Once price reacts again, we can place our stop just above the most recent high and aim for a 1 to 1.5 risk-to-reward ratio on the trade. Pivot Point Profile gives you a profile built from structure, not just